Welcome to the Silent Room. This is a place for cinematic audio stories. Stories meant to be listened to in the dark, with the lights low and the world quiet. Every week, you'll hear a new story. Psychological, mysterious, and unsettling in ways that stay with you. If this is your first time here, welcome. Now, let's begin. There is a specific kind of heat that comes off a studio console at 3 hours past midnight. It's a dry, electronic warmth that smells like ozone and dust. Out there, beyond the soundproof glass, the city is a graveyard of orange streetlights. In here, it's just me, the red on-air light and the hum of the cooling fans. You're listening to the night vibes, I say, my voice smooth, practiced, a velvet anchor for the sleepless. The lines are open. This is the hour of the unspoken. Tell me something you've never said out loud. Say it once, and let it go. The board blinks. Line 1. I stole my sister's wedding ring and sold it for rent, a woman whispers. She sounds tired. She thinks she lost it at the beach. I watch her cry about it every anniversary. I never tell her. Thank you for sharing, I say. I don't judge. That's the brand. Let it go. Line 2, you're on. The calls are a familiar rhythm. A man who hates his son. A woman who witnessed a hit and run and kept driving. Small weights dropped into the dark. Then the board lights up again. Line 4. Hello, David, the voice says. It's a man, calm, articulate. There's a strange intimacy to it, like he's sitting across the desk from me instead of calling from a cell tower. Welcome to the show, I say. What's on your mind tonight? I was thinking about the power of a single sentence, he says. I can hear the faint sound of wind in the background. He's outside. How you can say something, just a few words, and then go home, eat dinner, sleep, and never realize you've ended someone else's world. Words have weight, I agree, leaning back. This is my favorite kind of caller, philosophical. Is there something you said that you regret? Not me, he says. There's a soft, rhythmic clicking on his end, metal hitting metal. I'm thinking about what you said, David, a long time ago, 4 years past during a winter storm. Do you remember the boy from the bridge? My heart gives a small, cold stutter. We get thousands of calls. I don't remember faces, only frequencies. I talk to a lot of people, I say, trying to keep my voice steady for the listeners. Why don't you refresh my memory? He called in, the man continues. The clicking sound stops. He was 19. He was standing on the ledge of the Blackwood Bridge. He was terrified. He asked you if life really got better, or if we just got better at pretending. I remember now, a panicked kid. I remember being tired that night. I remember wanting to get to a commercial break. I told him that life is a choice, I say. I told him he had the power to change his story. You did, the man says. But you were distracted. You were looking at the clock. You said, sometimes you just have to stop waiting for the sun and accept the dark. It was a poetic line, David. Very cinematic. You went to a music break right after. Do you remember the song? I don't. I can feel the heat of the microphone now. It feels like it's burning my skin. He took your advice, the caller whispers. He stopped waiting. The silence on the line is no longer empty. It's heavy, like the air before a lightning strike. "David," the caller whispers. I can hear the sound of a heavy door closing on his end. An echo. He's in a hallway. "You always tell us that the truth will set us free." That was your closing line the night the boy called from the bridge. You told him that if he had a dark truth, he should say it once, and the weight would vanish. I can see my own reflection in the studio glass. I look small. "I was trying to help him," I stammer. "But you didn't tell him where the weight goes, David," the caller says. I hear a metallic jingle. Keys. Energy doesn't disappear, it just moves. The boy said his truth. He said he couldn't breathe in this world. And then he jumped. I was there. I heard the water hit. And in that moment, his weight, it didn't vanish. It moved to me. I've been carrying it for 4 years. A backpack full of lead. I look at the security monitor. A figure is standing at the end of the corridor. He isn't holding a weapon. He's holding a phone to his ear. "I'm tired of carrying it, David. I'm here to give it back." The man reaches the studio door. He doesn't try to break it. He just stands there, looking through the reinforced glass. He's thin, unremarkable, with eyes that look like they haven't seen sleep in a decade. He holds his phone up, pointing to the screen. "The board is still lit up, David. We're still live. Thousands of people are listening to us right now. They're waiting for the ending. They want to know what happens when the night anchor loses his anchor." My hand shakes as I reach for the kill switch to take us off the air. "Don't," he whispers into the phone. His voice in my headphones is perfectly synced with the movement of his lips behind the glass. "If you cut the feed, I open this door, but if you stay on the air, if you tell the truth, I'll leave." "What truth?" I sob. "The truth you've never said out loud," he says. "Tell the listeners that you didn't forget that boy. Tell them you remember his name. Tell them you looked it up the next day and then went out for a steak dinner while his mother was identifying his body. Tell them that you don't care about the secrets. You just like the sound of people breaking." I look at the red on-air light. It's a judge's eye. I can't, I whisper. "Say it once, David, and I'll go." I look at him. He reaches for the door handle. I look at the microphone. If I say it, my career, my life's work, is over. If I don't, the door opens. I lean into the mic. My lips are touching the cold phone. I open my mouth to speak, to save my life, to admit I am a fraud. But the man behind the glass smiles. He doesn't wait for me to talk. He just lets go of the door handle and turns around. "Too late, David," he says into the phone. The silence already told me. He walks away down the hall. I'm left sitting in the heat of the console, the on-air light still burning. The lines are all silent. My career isn't over. No one heard a confession. But as I look down at the console, I realize the man left his line open. And through my headphones, from his end of the phone, I hear the sound of a car door opening. Then a heavy splash. Water! Cold, dark water. He didn't come to kill me. He came to make me listen to the sound of the weight moving. One last time. I sat there for an hour before I realized the on-air light wasn't red anymore. It was the color of a warning I had ignored for 4 years. Thank you for listening. If this story stayed with you, You're always welcome back in the silent room. New stories every week. Until next time, take care.